Cut it back off.
Oh
Oh,
no.
I hope y'all wrote those down. We only got to like 4 questions, so it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. I
Yeah.
just looked at the top like, shoot, I forgot I paused it when we first started. My bad. I guess that was for y'all ears only. That's the way I look at it because I never forget to record, right? So yeah, oops. Thankfully, y'all who made it in here, huh? So the question is it true that you need to open an investment account with your bank in order to properly process contracts with your bank and have them deposited into your TD? You need to have a working relationship with the bank where you have assigned them as a security transfer agent to be able to transfer your securities properly. If you're trying to sell your contracts to them, it's more than one way to do it. The first way is getting in a relationship with them, signing the documents to let them be trustee, discuss a particular amount for them to do the transfers. And the other way is, but you still need a investment account and it has to be with the private side of the bank. Every bank has a private side. It'll say Merrill Lynch, Bank of America private. It has to have the word private. It will not be your regular location. And because they are the brokers, but it need to be on the private side. And if you have the proper SEC, like you're registered on the SEC, like you're supposed to be, and et cetera, yes. Now, when it comes to your own physical contracts that of people you've already in business with, you need to get an asset transfer. And you have to make sure that you and your bank understand what it is. You have to do an asset transfer and it needs to be under a trust account. Charles Schwab will quickly tell you that they don't do it. Do not. If you're trying to deposit something, a birth certificate or whatever, right? Do not give them people your papers. You first of all, you need to talk to the biggest person there. They need to have a Series 7, a Series 24, a Series 62. They have to have all of those series to do what you want. You can go on the brokerage website and find out who's the head honcho in charge at the location that you're going to. Your regular, just Series 7 will not be able to help you. But I repeat, do not give these people your paper so they can be like, oh, well, let me send it to this department and we're going to check it. And it's for them to come back and tell you no. And then you're going to see little barcodes or little numbers scanned on your documents, which means that they put it through the restricted deposit service, something like what I posted under 007. If it's your birth certificate, they're going to tell you no, but they're going to scan and they're going to get paid off. So I would say do not attempt this and do not try this until you absolutely positively know how to go in there and get with the biggest person in there and set up a working relationship of asset transfer. And that is what it's called. You owe asset transfers, okay?
Yep.
You definitely want to have an investment account. Everybody wants an investment account. And your regular bank account should be an irrevocable, non-interest bearing checking account. I'm in the process of my national status for my children, and I'm also in the process of doing the I-130 for my husband who was in Nigeria. If I am national status, would this slow up my process or expedite, or would I not be able to bring him to the U.S.? Trying to bring someone else over to the U.S. Is their process. So I can't tell you how long that would take, but no, it won't hurt your process because none of us is United States citizens. Right? Even if once you get it down on paper, they don't look at you like, oh my God, we can deport you. It's not like that. Is you standing up under the republic, okay? Um, Robert, I had to obtain a new 9-8 correctly and just got my new one today. Oh, okay, I answered that one already. I answered that one already. What's the next one? We have our irrevocable trust set up as well as revocable living trust. How do we endorse our birth certificate correctly to take it to the I'm not about to answer that. Do you have to do POA prior to retiring our accounts in the irrevocable trust? No, but
Mm.
you should want to do a POA. Even over your trust accounts, you should have a 2848 for the trust account, right? So if you got a living estate, a living trust account, um, EIN number, you are responsible for filing taxes on them, which that's what you want to file taxes on, because that's how you get back your IRS credits, etc. You know what I'm saying? But once you open up a trust, you should still fill out a 2848. The taxpayer name will be the trust. The responsible party will be you and your lowercase name, with it being last name slash first name, middle name. And it should be an upper and lowercase to make yourself the representative.
Boom.
Also, will I be providing templates and letters that you provided in the mortgage class? Nope. We going to the security office more than 3 times, and we were told that they can't change the citizenship. The last time we went, they sent us to NY to the office that does it, and they told us that we would have to go to the USC office to renounce our nationality. They gave us a form to fill out, and all. What should we do? You should be filling out that what is it, the SS5FS form? Ain't it that one, nephew?
Mm-hmm. Foreign status.
Yeah. And you need a melody into the head, the main, what you call it? I'm a vet, and I just called the IRS today. You said that it's different for vets. So my trust on file is a 99 number. I have my name as the EIN and my SSN as the beneficiary. So I was on live Saturday. And I know that you said if you have an EIN already, don't file for a 98 number. Can you help me clear that confusion? Yeah, I've never said that if you have an EIN already, don't file for a 98 number. You probably wasn't talking to me. And I can promise you on Saturday, I don't think I did a live on Saturday. I don't think I've been live in some days. So I don't know who live you was on, but I would never tell you not to get a 98 number. The 98 number is just putting an extra layer of protection under a foreign status for your trust. That's all that the 98 number is. You really don't even need a 98 number if you don't want one. Like, it's not mandatory, right? But as I say, it's good to have one because it's an extra layer of protection, and it does give you that non-tax status. But see, we're going to learn how to file our taxes, okay, the proper way, so you can get a check back. Okay, you're gonna get a check back. We're not gonna be waiting on no CPAs. We already know H&R Block ain't about to do it. You know what I'm saying? But you have to be in the proper status, your proper status, as far as on the record with the IRS, to be able to properly do your 1041s. Okay. Now, you'll make it easier for you when it comes to the bank portion of it if you just switch your account over to an irrevocable living non-interest bearing trust account. I'm trying to tell you. So this is the thing, because people feel like I'm having issues doing that. You do not have to say, I'm coming in here to open up a irrevocable non-interest bearing trust account. All you gotta do, hey Alexandria, I know you was on here, hey girl. All you had to do is say, I am here to open up an irrevocable trust account. It's automatically non-interest bearing. Guys, y'all ain't got to go in there with that. If y'all would have read, it's already, that is the only account at the bank that is not interest bearing. You ain't got to go in there because they're gonna be like, oh, we don't do that. Or this. No. You want to stop them from making you fill out their form. They always gonna try to expect, well, Wells Fargo won't, but Bank of America and Chase be trying to get you to fill out their certificate of trust. 2 things: either have that non-negotiable stamp there. They are not supposed to have your whole trust. But this is how you stop that. In the beginning, I told you guys, your certificate of trust, make sure that it has everything you're supposed to have on there. If you want to know which one classifies for your state lawfully, deeds.com. Thank you, Layla Lockwood. Deeds.com, it's your state, a certificate of trust for your state according to your state rules will pop up. You're going to fill that out, get it notarized, and then get the notary signature certified. You have now certified that. They don't need your whole trust now. They're not even going to ask you for it, okay? Getting a copy of your certificate of trust notarized and certified stops court cases. It does a lot because it's saying that you're inside of the trust. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you do that. All right. Let's see. Do you have to do POA retitling your account? Yeah, you want to. But your trust is will now get the POA because your trust owns everything. They don't. Okay, I did that one. I did that one. They kicked you off of food assistance by updating my income 10 times the amount. Well, you don't have any income. Nephew, you want to go over that one?
Yeah. So when it comes to that, wait, where did you see that?
Um, it just says they kicked me off of food assistance by updating my income.
Yeah. So you don't have income, you have remuneration, and it come directly from the I-9 manual. We had several people go up there, so you just have to correct that and let them know that no, you don't have income. And if you need to do an appeal and get a hearing so that you can talk to somebody and break that down, I would make sure you do that. But also make sure you pull from the I-9 handbook the definition of remuneration and the fact that if you are a W-2 employee or that you're doing stuff like that, their definition says that you get remuneration, which is not income.
Yeah,
So,
and then wages is also under tax class 5, which stands for gift. So you get
yep.
remuneration and IRS credits. Okay, you get credits. This is a gift. This is credits, and that's how you stop that. But you won't have that issue with social service forever telling you that you're making too much money if you move all your money to a trust account, right?
Yep.
They are running your information under your social. Your bank account is under your social. They can see it. They're all one system, right? So what you do is if you move all your money to a trust account, Charles Schwab, Fidelity, or irrevocable trust is still a trust account. It goes off the EIN number and not your social. So when they pull you up, they like, well, damn, Ronaldo, you ain't got nothing. Hell no, but I control it all. You know what I'm saying? They won't be able to see nothing because people don't understand is having a bank account in your name also give the court jurisdiction. The court is a bank.
Yep.
So when y'all be up there, somebody, you ain't got no jurisdiction over me. You see them open their little folder. You got a bank account at Bank of America under your social. We do got it. Why? Because your signature card said that you will abide by all the rules of the Treasury, and whether you realize it or not, we the head bank. Okay. So if you move your money, you won't have these issues. All right. Whoa, Carver. So basically, this is the question, y'all. So basically, if Janet Yellen is on your trust, it's not valid. Why is Janet Yellen on your trust? I hope you worded that wrong. Because why is Janet Yellen on your trust? Now I can see if you filled out a 56. All right. Because of course, when these people are not doing what you want to do, when it comes to the tax side of it, you can send copies of your statements, you can send promissory notes, and you can send a blank 1099-B with nothing but your name on it. And because you have gave the Department of Treasury the right to intervene on your tax behalf, they'll fill it out for you. But Janet Yellen should, I hope she's not on your trust. And if she is, please take her off. She shouldn't be on. That means that Janet Yellen could come and take your trust. All right. The creator, you ask jurisdiction and trust declaration. If I say that the trust is under the original state constitution of that state, not the most recent version, could that create a claim of insufficient jurisdiction and make me more vulnerable to courts? Is it better to say the current trust and fiduciary laws of the state and the current state constitution? Your jurisdiction is up under God we trust. It's a common law. Common law automatically run under God. Yeah. Y'all making it difficult for no reason. Yeah, she did tell us the PO. She also dropped a post. I sure did, Elise. Got it all. She also mentioned consumer contracts. I sure did. Somebody got listening ears. The Living Trust EIN used for DBA entity, or would there be an additional EIN? Not sure of the 6 trusts that are needed.
So with your DBAs, the 6 trusts that we have been referring to, that's something different from the DBAs. When you're doing DBAs underneath the 9(8) trust, that looks a little bit different. You have your 9(8) trust doing business as like your all caps LLC and stuff like that. So that's something different. I'm not entirely sure what you mean when you say, is the living trust EIN used for a DBA entity? That would be one of them. You do have the DBA through your 9(8) for your living trust. But even then, if I'm not mistaken, when you fill out that form, it doesn't ask for the EIN information. So I'm not too sure about that one. In terms of what you're asking, at least.
Right. Caleb Williams, I have a trust funded and they got an irrevocable non-interest bearing checking account. Congratulations, Caleb. My issue is my main bank with Navy Federal Credit Union and their deposit trust account paperwork has provisions that are ferocious. Is there a way to get a NIBCA at credit unions? Thank you. So when you really understand what credit unions are for, one, you're not going to get a non-interest bearing checking account at a credit union. Why? Because the credit union is owned by the members. You're supposed to get interest. It's owned by you, which is why it is much needed that everybody have a credit union account. You can send me, Caleb, what their provisions of their deposit trust account means and let me know, and I'll tell you. But you're not going to be able to get a non-interest bearing checking account with them anyway, because you are a member, which means you are entitled to your interest with them. Okay. But you can send it to me because I haven't seen that. But they're not going to give you a irrevocable non-interest bearing trust account because of the terms and conditions of the credit union. And if I was you, I will go read the credit union bylaws. They have a charter. Every bank has a bank charter. Those are the rules that are governing them to be able to be a bank in that state. If you read that, when I tell you, their bank charter will tell you everything that you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to do it. But everybody should have a savings account at a credit union. Okay. How do you choose your co-trustee in South Dakota as a non-resident? Did they have a minimum corpus value requirement? South Dakota, anybody can file a trust in South Dakota. Nephew, you did yours. Oh yeah, you did yours when you first got with me. You want to explain to them how we did the South Dakota trust and why we put it in why the 9(8) trust is registered in South Dakota?
Yeah, so South Dakota has some of the best trust laws in terms of keeping it private. And um, when you're doing it underneath South Dakota, um, I do believe that
It stays private.
yeah, it stays private.
And
I
they
was
got
trying
no
to see,
tax.
yeah, no taxes. It's
No
tax
tax.
exempt. It's private. You can have it go on in perpetuity for longer than you can in other states in terms of making it renew itself. Um,
And your co-trustee is whoever you choose,
yeah, it's
right?
not like Delaware where you need somebody in the state, if that
No,
makes sense.
because anybody can file one in South Dakota. So for example, so y'all know that my trust, for one of the trustee is my children's family trust, right? Then the co-trustee is my daughter's individual trust. Successor trustee is my son individual trust.
Boom.
Period. That's it.
Yeah. And so yeah, that's
Now,
it. You
if
just got to make
you
sure. I was just gonna say, make sure you go on their website because they're strict with their documents and how they need to be formatted. And so as long as you go and you read the requirements for that, you'll be good.
Yeah. And if you go on deed.com and pull up South Dakota, it'll give you exactly how they're supposed to be done, right? You can to make
Boom.
sure that it fit for their state. That's the best thing to tell you to do. And see, like I said, with the 9(8) trust and is already tax exempt. I will, like I said, I will drop that into the VIP room for you guys. What the letter is supposed to look like so that you will be in the zero tax file. I don't know what you
Yep.
call it. You call it the live something, but it's called the zero tax file, right? That's why I know what it was. I'm like, what the hell are they talking about, right? But now the beneficiary, I told y'all the trust, my children's trust, their family trust, and then their individual trust. Right, so I did a family trust after their dad, their last name, for their dad, and then they have individual trust because they're both grown now. Lord, I ain't got no babies, but they both grown now. But I made the beneficiary my 9(8) trust that's registered in South Dakota, which means I know for a fact ain't no taxes, there's no capital gain, there's no nothing. So when it's time, 155 years Egyptian time from now, that my kids are going to have to utilize these trusts because their mama is gone 155 years Egyptian time from now, right? Then I know that it'll be safe and they won't go through the same thing that I went through when my mom passed away, right? And they stole everything. So that's how that goes. Okay, so I hope that answered your question. Your successor trustee is whoever your co-trustee and successor trustee is whoever you choose. If y'all still kind of leery about trust and this, that, and the other, I keep telling y'all to hit up credit unions. Like, please just interrupt. You got yours set up exactly like that. Okay, D Hassan. Oh wait, let me make sure I skip one. Can you run through the relationship between the trust and how each beneficial work independently in relation to each other? What do you mean?
I think she's talking about like the trust structure, like how the 9(8) goes at the top because it's tax exempt, right, and has the protection, and then like the order of the trusts. They're making it more complicated, but I think she's talking about like the order of the trust. Like you put your irrevocable trust underneath the 9(8) trust, and then your revocable trust, banker's trust, any trust that you have basically goes underneath the 9(8) trust. And then if you have your businesses, you put your trust down as like the beneficial ownership of the businesses, and basically making sure that anything that you're doing, your trust is the owner and not yourself. So like, if you're putting a beneficiary on or if you want to make your living trust or irrevocable trust beneficiary of the 9(8) trust so that it's underneath it, right? And then those have those protections. I think that's what she's asking about.
Yeah. And if you open up um when you open up the trust account for your when you open up a bank account for your 9(8) trust, and if you start switching your direct deposits over to that particular account, it's tax free. So, because once you got your 9(8) trust, you can open up a bank account. Y'all know that, right? And then you can get deposits put in there. And because the foreign trust is considered non-taxable, that means that anything that goes into that account is considered non-taxable as well. So that's just a little tip for y'all if y'all didn't know.
There
Thought you
you
said
go.
don't use our name. Okay. Question regarding the 9(8) trust. On number 2 of the form, DBA, y'all spoke about putting your LLC. I have two. The first last name LLC and my business LLC. I need to ensure I do this right, and that is under the trust completely. But I thought you said don't use our name at all on the 9(8) to be tax exempt. Can you clarify? I said when they ask you, don't use your name as the name of the 9(8) trust because it asks you, does you have a social security number? You don't. You made up the name. There is no social security number, right? So, and I think I showed mine. My name is on my paper as the grantor. But the trustee of my 98 trust is my living estate trust. It shows I'm the grantor, but I'm not the trustee, and I did not have to give up my social at all. So it's all about talking to them properly. If you don't feel comfortable with talking to them, you can do the SS 4 form, and you can fax it to them, and then they'll send you a number. That's the way you not have to put your social security number on there either. With any SS4 form, if you don't want your social to be on there, and you want to use an EIN number in the place of the responsible party, because you can do that, but you can't do it online. You have to mail it in or fax it in at the fax number they got. All right. Let's see. Can we SCS and deposit the contract? If the vehicle was repo 2 years ago, I did the purchase, the 32-pound software bound paper, but just need some directions on how to get it done properly. I'm not answering no more cars. Never, you can answer that. I'm tired of something about a car, especially one that's been repo 2 years ago.
They said it was hold on, let me see. Can we still SES and deposit the contract even if the vehicle was so if they came and repossessed the vehicle 2 years ago, you're on the cusp of that 3 year period before they before they give your money to the state. So if you still have the contract, I mean, you could still try it, but the problem is at that point it wouldn't even seem worth it to try to SES it because they already took the car and they're not going to give it back after 2 years.
Nope.
They probably been sold that.
And then
The
they're gonna
most
take that SDS and deposit another one, and not you to get some more money. If it was me, I will file my taxes on there because that was a barter.
Mhm.
And even though it was 2 years ago, I would do a barter, 1099B, and then I would let the IRS go get my money because they're still trading a security. But yeah, I wouldn't try to waste going back and forth with them. They already won. They got the car. They just sold the car, and they probably still saying that you owe for the car. And FYI, I have to pull the exact law. I don't know this one offhand because I haven't had to use it much, but I'll definitely pull it for you. And if your vehicle get repo, first of all, they're supposed to send you documentation in the mail saying that you can get it back and how much it'll be. But the law says that at the moment that they sold the vehicle, whatever they got for it is the max amount that they can get for it. They cannot come back to you and say, well, the loan was $52,000. We sold the car for $50,000. You still owe us $2,000. They cannot do that. That is absolutely positively illegal. Whatever they sold it for is what they got it for. DSI, I hope you got a trust set up because I really wouldn't be worried about that car right now. I would have a trust set up because guess what? You cannot file a 1041 without a trust. Period. Can you file your 1099Bs on a 1040? You absolutely can. Right? But guess what? The IRS is then going to take 40% of how much you're supposed to get back compared to a 1041 where they take no percent and you get it all back times. Okay. So it can be done, but you will want to do it on your trust. All right. A DBA is doing business as. Like you're doing business as the all caps name. Doing business as. Or if I own a company called Starlink and I open up another company called Star, but everything is ran up under Starlink, it'll be Starlink doing business as Star. So right now, your all capital letter name, you're doing business as that, as your upper and lowercase, right? So that's what that means. Jafine, you got yours set up exactly like that. Congratulations. I sent the SES to NailNet, did a CFP complaint, and a lady responded saying they don't accept this as a payment, then put my loans in deferred status. Did you do a 1099-C? That's the easiest way to get rid of your student loan.
Yep.
A 1099-C. And because they put it in a deferment status, which means they tapped into your account again because they made changes on the original account. But with student loans, with NailNet, that is the 1099-C is what you want to do. Being sued by the bank. They didn't go for arbitration clause. I went to courthouse, got the runaround for 4 different staff members, shuffling me from here to there. Each time I asked for where I can get a certified copy of my case, I said a true bill copy as well. I spent almost 2 hours there and wasn't able to obtain. I shall try again. However, what else must I do to prepare? My court date is Christmas Eve. Much love and gratitude. You're being sued by the bank and they didn't go to arbitration. Is there an arbitration clause in the case in your contract? If there is an arbitration clause in the contract, you want to do a petition, not a motion, a petition to remove due to automatic arbitration clause. If there's an automatic arbitration clause in there and the bank didn't opt out and you didn't opt out within the time frame that was given on the contract, then they're in the wrong court. Okay. So you got 2 different things that you can do. One, you can do a petition for removal due to mandatory arbitration clause. Or if you know what you're doing, you can do a petition to the equity side of the court. I don't know which state you're in, but it will be the Supreme Court of your state. And it has to be a petition so they'll know it's on the equity side. And you only can put equitable laws in there. If you put anything else along with equitable law, it's going to take it back down to the lower courts. And that's what they're not going to tell you. Okay. So you got 2 options to move it to the equity side of the court. And I can promise you the bank is not going to want to deal with the equity side of the court, or you can remove it due to mandatory arbitration. Normally, when you remove it due to mandatory arbitration, they do not try to come back and they just leave it alone. So those are your 2 options. Hope that helps. And see, getting a certified copy of the case is totally different because you're actually being sued by you have a what's that called? It's civil. It's considered civil. So getting a certified copy of the case and stuff like that, it doesn't work the same. But if you got the arbitration clause, you can prove you got the arbitration clause to removal due to mandatory arbitration. It should be removed then. If for some reason it's not removed then you're going to take it up to the Supreme Court on the equitable side. And I promise you the bank will leave you there. Once our bills are transferred into an irrevocable living trust with the EIN, how can we ensure that the bills are canceled out? That's for you to deal with them with. They're supposed to cancel it out because the trust cancel out of trust. The only issue that we've been seeing is they'll tell you that it was done to the irrevocable trust with your EIN number and they still have your social there, which the best thing to do is a lot of these companies allow you to do a transfer from one party to the next online. So that way you know they use the EIN number and not your social. I set up my trust, Beloved Empowerment Ministry, Irrevocable Living Trust. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't hit the button. Wait. Do I have to make it an LLC? No, you don't. That's up to you. The gem you dropped about the 9(8) direct deposit being non-taxable, is it the same for federal employees? Yeah. When I retitle my car to the irrevocable trust, how will I change it if it's irrevocable? For instance, if I want to sell the car. So the thing about having an irrevocable trust and you want to make changes to the trust, as long as the beneficiaries of the trust agrees to the changes, it can be done. Well, if another one of your trusts is the beneficiary of the trust, now you got permission to change it. They try to deter people from the irrevocable trust by saying, oh, you can't make changes. You can add to it. Yes, you can change it as long as all the parties agree. Well, if you are the parties, do some minutes, right? Do some minutes. You can be like you and your dog is on the board of trustees. You know what I'm saying? My plants is the board of trustees, my cat, my fish, right? do a minute sheet, have some minutes, and say we all say I, and there you go. Okay, but they only tell you that because they know the power of an irrevocable trust. So that's all. If you want to sell it, you can still sell it. Just make sure that when you retitle your car to the irrevocable trust, that you sign your name TTEE so that on the title, it will say whatever the trust name, then it will have your name as trustee, right? The DMV is going to need a certificate of trust and a signature page. Make sure you type non-negotiable, non-transferable on there. Put it in red if I was you, or get the stamp. And then they'll make sure that the title is done properly. But don't let people tell you that irrevocable trust cannot be changed.
Boom.
And I sue the dealership if they repo the vehicle without taking me to arbitration. No, because somewhere in your contract, you told them that they got the right to repo.
Yep.
I promise you was in there. And you never
Got
revoked it. For retirees and when receiving Social Security due to having some special wording as military when set up. For retirees when receiving Social Security. We have to have some special wording as military. Yes, Myra, you do have to have some special wording, and it is wording that I cannot help you. So please go to Creditgenics, and she will tell you she's done extensive work on people that are in the military, the additional wording that your trust will be that need. Okay, she told me, I do not remember, and I'm not gonna sit here and try to make up stuff, right? Because if I don't know it, I'm tell you. So please go to Creditgenics. She's on Instagram. You've seen her on my pages. She's in the thing, and she can help you when it comes to setting up the military trust. Okay. How do you get around car insurance? My state is not one of the 32 states that don't take a surety bond in lieu of car insurance. Well, if your car is in the name of the trust, and the trust has a surety bond, the car now has one too. A trustee bond. A trustee bond. I went over that with you guys. Especially if you trustee, you would definitely want to have a trustee bond. Okay.
For a lot of reasons.
Yep. Lots of them. Lots of them. Did you see that the American Express removed the distrust from? Did it? American
Not
Express removed.
not
Hold on.
from what I just checked. Approximately.
Hold on. Look, now you got me checking.
No, I'm looking at the prospectus right now. I have it in my tabs because I literally just pulled it up and the indenture agreement is on there.
Yeah.
And I pulled all of that. So I don't know what you're talking about. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, you ain't looking right. They got all their quarters for the 10Q and the 10K. Quarter 4 won't be on there until the end of the quarter. Yeah, I'm looking at them too. I don't know what you was looking at. I'm gonna tell you where else you can find them too. All you gotta do is go on the American Express page and hit Investor Relations menu, and all of their stuff is gonna pop up. You ain't even gotta go to the SEC website. It's Investor Relations. You can go to any company's website and hit Investor, and all of their 10K, 8K, the statement changes, the beneficial ownership. Y'all keep talking about how to do a beneficial ownership. Go look at how they did it.
Yep.
Name and address of the reporting person, American insert name. Let's see, relationship with reporting person, officer. Let's see who they put as a beneficial owner on here. Reporting owners, beneficially owned. American Express Trust. What is that? Yeah. So yeah, I saw that them out too this year. Y'all ain't looking at the right stuff because honey, I just pulled it up.
I was gonna say I pulled it up like 2 weeks ago, so I
Wait a
know it's.
minute. I'm like literally on here now. Hold up. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. They have to show. Even the past one's gonna be on there. All right. The initial 9A EIN that I said that was incorrect. Do I dissolve it now that I have the correct EIN? Shut up properly. What made you think that it was not correct? Do the PO needs to be notarized for the AOG, for the AG? No. Mm-mm. Trust question. What, if any, provision article did you include attesting to religious freedom? My trust bylaws attest to my religious freedom. I use the Bible for my trust bylaws. I use the Bible, the Ethiopian edition, and then I use the 11 satanic rituals. And when y'all really see what that is, no, I don't worship no little red devil motherfucker. But if y'all go look that up, y'all will be like, wait a minute. They played us in the church talking about the little red devil. Nah, the satanic rituals say, I only got one cheek, and if you hit one, the next one I'm gonna hit yours. It tell you to be nice, but then it tell you don't let people walk over you. So it's in my bylaws. So, and you can create your own bylaws. For the family crest, which one will we get? There's not an American one. Should I get an England one or the other ones? Your family crest is based off your last name. I put up a whole website and told y'all where to go find your family crest at, which is the certified family crest, which is one that they cannot deny because it dates back to your history of your name, right? Because remember, everything is your last name, which is why on your passport, your last name go first. Then it says given name, right? Your last name is your history. So when you pull your family crest, I say pull your family coat of arms. The family crest will be at the top of the coat of arms, right? So that is your family crest. You have to remember that we're not talking about England today. We talking about England back in the day, okay? We talking about a long time ago, where all of this was America before they changed everything. It's all Egypt until they changed everything. So if you want your family crest and your coat of arms, not one that you create, but one that dates back to your bloodline, then now it's considered a lawful coat of arms, okay? So I think that one website I put up was name.org. I think it was, but it's on my page. That's where you get it from. That's your family crest. You screenshot the DTC paper. I know that's right. Go look that up. Have restricted deposit. That's all I'm gonna say. A lot of y'all questions y'all asking is right there. But I don't even feel like y'all ready to even go there. That's why I don't really, touch too much on it. I got a few that's ready, but that's a whole different ball game. Ain't no you telling me you can't deposit. Because right here it say, come on, turn that computer around. Step 1, step 2. Ain't that right, nephew? Step 3.
That's right.
And I know that you were a participant provider. Yeah, play where it's
Oh
safe.
yeah.
That part.
Oh yeah. Y'all don't even know about that. I'm trying to tell y'all. It gets so deep.
If you get SSD, can you transfer funds into a trust? And if so, how? I put up the trust form that is used for like special needs and Social Security. Each state has their own, and it can go in any trust. And that's how you protect your funds as well from Social Security. Or if you're getting Social Security for a special needs child, and they try to say, "Oh, well, mom, you make too much." That's what that POA form is there for. And I posted one on my page about 2 weeks ago. I went to the state of Maryland website and found this other site, missingmoney.com, found out I had a check. They're from the IRS, also found checks for my mom and my cousin to claim. Yes, you should be checking every state as a missing money. If you lived in a state, it's if you got checks that they claim is missing, is there. But y'all, when I look at that system, I want you to see that there's 2 sides to that system. You got the public side you can see, and then you got the private side. So once you do the POA for the Department of Revenue, like I told y'all to do, now you can get both sides of the accounting. Okay. Now you'll be able to see the big money that the state is claiming on behalf of the governor through the attorney general that's working as for this year. Okay. But what is the process to get in the house with land using my estate? Yeah, no. Yeah, no. I wouldn't even attempt to try to tell you. Do I know? Absolutely. Would I try to? No. Mm. Once you understand the value of your signature, and once you understand that an application is deposited for the original issue discount, and when you understand that the money is actually coming for the deposit of the security that's supposed to be actually given to you, but it's never given to you, and you sign the house away, then you'll know how to deal with builders and banks and etc. Yeah, I got that rejection letter, but it has a signature on it. What should I do? What rejection letter? I had a meeting with Credit Jennings, and I understand the irrevocable living trust and the privacy. I'm confused on setting up a trust for my living estate. No EIN, living trust to avoid potential risk of trust merger with SSEN and retitlement. I say that because Lady suggested to open a new account with the institution, never merge the two, but you have further examples of how we can retitle. I want to gain my credits back in the trust name, but I'm confused. You confused me. But I am confused. One kind of living trust or estate it should be, or am I overthinking? Yes, you're overthinking. Should it just be a private trust under my God-given rights name? It could be a private trust under whatever name you choose. I will personally put it under my name. And you have to understand that irrevocable trust that Layla helped you do is the irrevocable trust that you will put on the physical record. Period. Period.
Boom.
She's public side. The private side of it is having an irrevocable living estate trust that does have an EIN, but it's not registered anywhere. That is what you use with the bank. Can you have both accounts open that way? Yeah, you can. With the irrevocable living trust, that she even tells you when you retitle your accounts and etc., you just switch it out for the EIN for your social. Okay. All right. What else? Y'all be thinking a lot. Nigga, the 9A class is fired. Thank you. Thank you. The first time I did that class, I think it was in 2017. I still got the recording from that one too. I was going through my recordings. I'm like, damn, I first did this class in 2017. I think the one back then, I went in a little bit more too. I'm gonna have to look at it again. I might drop it for y'all. I might, because it was like 4 series. Okay, I drove trucks for about 6 years, and one of the things that is stressed about the job is having to sign the paperwork in order to get paid. The bill of landing. You mentioned that everything you sign has a security. So when I sign these bills of landing, I'm giving them a security. Yeah, they're getting paid out of your account. Yeah. I looked at my credit report around this time last year and noticed that there was a report that I don't recognize, a debt of $100 charged off every month since like 2017. Charge-offs are considered income, but what can I do about that? You just did it. You contact the CFPB. First of all, I would contact that particular company and say, hey, you're reporting on my credit report as a charge-off, but you didn't send me the 1099-C. Boom. They're going to send you the 1099-C. Then you can do a CFPB complaint and letting them know, according to the IRS rules, that charge-offs are considered income. This cannot be reported, and they will take it off immediately and do it through the CFPB.
Like that, I'm trying to tell y'all.
And then I will absolutely make that company send me a copy of the 1099-C because they charged it off. Okay.
And once they take it off, after your CFPB complaint, get your money.
How would you go
about? That's $1,000.
So how would you go about taking over the estate by the irrevocable trust within the trust, outlining specifics after attaining the estate EIN? But you definitely want to get your estate EIN first. And you want to make sure that you got the 2848 and the 56 and everything else build out where you are now head of everybody. And once you have that, you can start liquidating the accounts.
Boop.
That's how you start. Once you over the accounts, you start liquidating them. Like it has been known and shown that when you send this little packet to the attorney general, because remember, it's the state over everything, the house, Like the government, the IRS deal with us a little bit, but the federal government deal with us a little bit, but not really. Everything is done through your state, right? So once you put the attorney general on notice, um, if you own a house, we have seen them physically. The Secretary of State will send you a stock certificate to your house for your house because you've now removed the state out the way. And that's how you start taking over your estate. Get the state out the way to take the e-state. You got it.
Mm.
The attorney general. Move it out the way. But Alexander, you got my cell phone number. I know you be on it. You can text me. You got it. If you still got it, you can text me. If your name was changed during a child support case, how can you tap into your previous name and state, or they already connected? They're already connected. Are you familiar with WF Vantage, CO via USPS Trust? I'm trying to connect the dots with a purpose. Nope, never heard of it before. I'll take about 5 minutes later on, and it may get 5 minutes of my time, and I'll look it up for you. But yeah, I've never heard of that, so I'm not exactly sure. I the only thing I want the USPS to hold for me is my PO box, my trust PO box. Okay, that's what I want. I want the trust PO box, and I'm gonna change the responsible party. We talked about that on the line. That went over a lot of y'all head because they the responsible party, right? Remember, I showed y'all the lady who got all of those bills from the IRS that had Chase name for a beneficial owner of her, but because she changed the responsible party, all of the bills that IRS has been sending Bank of America about her account came to her. You can do that for any of your accounts. It cancels it out. You hear that from me? Yeah.
Responsible party, just in case nobody heard.
Yeah, that responsible party. IRS form, baby. Start checking. Because once you got POA and stuff, you the responsible party, right? Okay, then. Then when you become the responsible party, I would definitely put the trustee ad in the newspaper, you know. I'm just telling y'all, when you become the head honcho in charge, I will put in the newspaper to solidify it even more. Um, but then that's when I will be hitting like the indenture trustee with the W-9 and everything else, because now I am the responsible party for this account. And now you have to release everything because we already know that the trustee and the indenture trustee is who's tapping into the participant window for the DTC and the RSS and the other systems that they use. Because everything don't go just to the DTC. I put that post up for y'all a while ago too. It's more than just the DTC. You got the New York window. You got a couple different windows around this piece. Okay. I'm sorry, but I'm truly new to the information and so scrambling to catch up. And the sad part is I don't know which video to start with or which angle to take first. You mentioned an ebook in one of your videos, but I don't know where to find them. My question is, where do I start first? The irrevocable trust, get my EIN, or my national status? Your national status. Everybody should start with the recording national status. Get that. Okay. Then work on the irrevocable trust. Don't worry about a discharge or nothing until you understand and have those things in place first. Okay. Okay. Laura, when I got my first 9-8, here, nephew, you want to do that one? I need a drink of water.
Yeah, you good. When I got my first 9-8, I called in a foreign name person and named my trust after my foreign name, then have my legal name as trustee. I realized from your example on IG that I should have had my government name as grantor. So I'm calling as myself and then have the family trust as trustee. When does the foreign name come in since the IRS agent wants whoever calls in to be the grantor? So I don't know where you heard that, but the name of the trust needs to be what's foreign. It don't matter who the trustee is at that point, because as we know from the class, in order for it to be a taxable trust, it has to meet both elements, which is that it passes the court test and the control test on any one given day. So even if you put yourself as the trustee, which you were supposed to, it's not going to have you in the wrong status. What am I trying to say? I'm blanking out. It's hold up. Um, it's on the tip of my tongue because I was literally about to say it. Uh, oh yeah, it wouldn't pass both the court and the control test, even if you have your name as trustee. So you're
Yeah.
good at that
And then you
point.
have to look at too, there's more than one 9A trust. So you have the foreign grantors trust, and then you got the foreign express trust. So the one that you
Yep.
were looking at was the grantor trust. I'm the grantor. I still didn't have to get my social, right?
Yep.
The trustee was my irrevocable living trust account, uh, um, trust setup. And then the name was a foreign name, right? And it's foreign because it ain't on the books nowhere. It's something that I made up. So I have two 9.8s. I have a foreign grantors 9.8, and then I got a uh express
Foreign
trust
express.
9.8, right? A foreign express. So you can have a 9.8 and it don't have a grantor on there, but you did set it up right. I have two because I have the foreign grantors trust and then I have the foreign express trust. So I hope that answers your question. Those are two different type of trusts. And when you call in to get the foreign grantors trust, you let them know, hey, this is the foreign grantors trust. Then that's when they're going to ask you who the grantor is. If you're doing a foreign express trust, you do not have to give your name at all unless you are going to be the trustee of it. I don't trust that because they will pull anything to try to tie your name into it, but you still can do it. Or you can do like me to make sure that it's guaranteed and no problem. And my trust is always the trustee. Okay.
Boom.
And then even when um I do the 9.8 I mean, when I do the EIN number, just regular EIN number, I make sure to put that TTEE behind my name. So they'll know that the responsible party is the trustee and not me. I'm not the beneficial owner. I'm just the trustee because the trust is the beneficial owner. Okay. So I hope that helps. All right. Let's see. And I'm gonna be in New York in a minute. It's Christmas. Y'all know it's my favorite time of the year. I always go to New York so I can do some shopping. I'll be up there as a cold. Somebody tell me. You know, we 80 degrees out here where I'm at. I'm be shell shocked. Should we open a bank account with our 9.8? Both. Both. Do you POA for the money that was given to my adopted parent? I'm not exactly sure what that means. What books do you recommend to learn how to file trust taxes? The IRS manual.
Boom.
That's the best book I can tell you. The IRS manual. Okay. That's the book you want. I'm gonna tell you something else that'll help you too. Get the study guide as an enrolled agent. Even if you
Mm.
don't want to take the enrolled agent test, get the study guide for enroll agent. Okay, because when you look at the IRS chain of command, you got the IRS, got CPA, then you got an enroll agent. An enroll agent means that you can represent yourself or others in front of the tax people, which means you can properly file taxes, you know, all the stuff that girl said she was that she really wasn't, like that, right? But if y'all really, really, really want to tap into understanding taxes and understanding them quick, they got a lot of online classes that will walk you through to how to prepare for the EA test, right? Enroll agent. They also have study guides with sample questions on there that's actually on the test. If you can answer those, then you will understand how to properly file a 1041. Okay, along with the IRS manual, because the IRS manual tells you it. Okay. That's just like if you think that you want to go and start dealing with Charles Schwab Fidelity on the proper level, you know, with that Series 7, 24, and 62, you know, person, I have recommended this before and I'll do it. The Series 7. Take the Series 7. I will repost those books again. I learned when I started learning the security side of it, knowing that I'm gonna have to go in here talking to brokers. Well, let me find out your language. I learned it the Series 7. Okay, I took a whole little shebang for Series 7. I will send y'all the actual place that I did it at. I got the books. They got it. You got ebooks. I wanted the hard copy books because if the systems go down, I still won't have my books with my highlighters, right? But if you understand the Series 7, then you'll understand the value of a security and how you are to talk to these people. What is the app par? What are these? You know what I'm saying? Things of that magnitude. Yeah, you can have a more productive conversation with these people instead of saying, okay, this is my birth certificate deposit. No, this is a security. Period. That's mine. And I own it. You know, I just got a student now that I'm helping, and she went last year sometimes to do a deposit of her birth certificate. And the the broker she was working with was very interested in it. Like, but he's only a Series 7, so he only knew so much. So they told him to get it for have her scan it in, and he had to send it to their location in Florida. So the asset transfer department for Charles Schwab is the Florida location. Okay. So I just told y'all where it go. They got it. Then they told her, oh, it cannot be done. Then she got it back. I said, send it to me. I said, you're missing something they put on there. And sure enough, you see the numbers on the bottom to show that they scanned it in because Charles Schwab is a participant provider, right? Everything through the Electronic Funds Transfer Act, they don't need the hard copy any longer. They can scan it right in their system. We had another lady some months ago. She took them every security that she had. Every. It's on my page
Yep,
somewhere.
I
Every
remember that.
security that she had. When I'm talking about like over 400 pieces of documents. When she finally got it back after kept asking them for it, all of her stuff had barcodes and little number on there, which means that they deposited through the DTC but told her not to. That's because she did not have the proper account set up. I'm not giving you nothing until you tell me we're going to sign a contract. You're going to get my assets. You're going to make a percentage. And this is what the deal is going to be. But even with the trust, they want your trust. This is why I keep telling y'all, put that non-negotiable stamp on there. Because if the bank is asking for your full trust, okay, I'm gonna give it to you, but you ain't gonna be able to do shit with it, right? They're gonna be mad. But what can they do? You have to protect your asset. That's how you do that. What is the process to obtain a house with a land? Use a title company. Can I please give you step by step? Nope. I cannot give you step by step. I will tell you the title company is what you need because the title company is the transfer person. You have to get a title company that's going to be on board, that's not going to try to steal from you and to make sure they send their deed to you and not to them. What's the CPA address? I need to run my coins and that. But what I will tell you is that it's public information. If you Google a name and put in Texas, that's all I can tell you. That's, I'm not going. But oh, I got something for that too, because y'all got some. I ain't forgot. I just ain't saying much. But as a collective, we can't sit down on this. And my bank gave me my money back, right? But it's deeper than me just getting my money back. So there are some things that will take place with that. I even created an email. It's fuck no Diddy. It's called No Brittany, for people to send their stuff because at the end of the day, no Brittany, and yeah, so that is still being handled the proper way because they need to know that fat meat is greasy. But yeah, talk about that later. I have a trust fund it and got an irrevocable. Wait, I did that one already. Okay, let me go back down. Um, let's see. How do you put your trust on the record? Nev, you want to answer that?
Yeah, if you want to put your trust on the record, um, it depends on which kind of trust. If it's an express trust, you record your declaration of express trust in whatever county, in whatever state you're trying to do it in. So, like for my 9/8 trust in South Dakota. But other than that, recording a trust you don't normally do unless it's an express trust. you keep that private, and the only thing anybody would need is your certificate of trust. So the only trust that you would be recording, you put the declaration onto the county recorder of whatever state you're trying to file the trust in and establish it under.
I'm not ready for multiple trusts. Can I make the trust the beneficiary itself, as I can do with? Can I make the trust the beneficiary? You got to have more than one trust to make one of them beneficiary. Right? You can't say the name of my trust is 123 Living Estate Trust and the beneficiary is 123 Living Estate Trust. It don't work like that.
Mm-mm.
No, you cannot change a business account over into a trust. The only thing you can change over to a trust is already open, like checking and savings account. So if I have a business account at Navy Federal, just relinquish the interest in my trust? No, a business account is something totally different. All right, I wanted to make sure I didn't miss none. I asked about that. How do you put your trust on the record? Nephew just answered that. How do we transfer ownership of all the EINs to the 9A trust? Notify, put them inside of the trust and then notify the IRS with the proper form, changing the beneficial ownership. And that's it. Can I please email you the mock trial for the arbitration? I don't even remember if I did that mock trial. I'll have to look and see because man, that was so long ago. I don't know who you got in arbitration, but I'm a fighter for equity court these days. If I create a 9A trust for a non-American overseas, do you know if it'll complicate their ability to gain their visa? I don't know. I got a judgment against me for a credit union and their attorney, non-secure loan. If it was supposed to go to arbitration, you can get the judgment stayed or thrown out due to mandatory arbitration. If you're doing a 1041 and a 1099B for previous year that you filed 1040, would it be best to amend or can we claim the 1099B under 1040 now that trust is set up and backdate? No, you cannot backdate. You will have to amend the return. And when you're filing the 1099B, you file two, right? Ooh. You might have to come to the fourth quarter checkup. You got to file two. Jovan, see, I'm listening. I've listened. You have, and you've been with me for a minute. I'm very proud of you. She said, I don't have any questions. I remember it was a day and time you had, now look at you. I love that for you. I love that for you. Do you have an auditor you can recommend? Nope. I have nobody else to recommend for nothing.
Mm-mm.
And I don't have no recommendations for nobody outside of Layla Lockwood. That's it. Anything else? Nope. Doesn't seem like people be on the up and then I recommend them and they get crazy and then I'm not. Nope, 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 nope. Ebooks are in Caleb's bio. Uh, mm-mm-mm. All right. And it's adjustable shit to share before I request. I keep getting automatic message. Let me make sure I go back up. You're being sued by MX. All right, how do we put the trust on the record? That's the 1099. That's you listening. No art. Okay. Can we also do the same with the revocable trust, non-interest bearing checking claim credits? No, it needs to be an irrevocable because the revocable can be changed. It needs to be irrevocable. Because see, with a revocable one, you can go in and you can change at any time. They still can become trustee or the custodian over the account within itself. So no, it needs to be irrevocable. If you were filing 1041 for 2024 and want to file 1099B for previous years that you filed 1040, would it be best to amend or can we claim 1099B? Oh yeah, I answered that already. You are being sued by MX and they have the option to arbitrate, but the language does not say mandatory. Does it make a difference? It does make a difference on how they worded it. So you have to see how they worded it. But normally, if it's, they normally word it where they do arbitration first. And you show your art. You don't want the CPA, Elisa. No. Hell no. I don't have an auditor. And no. Mm-mm. Is there a way to do anything about eviction before court documents are filed against the person? It depends on if you're being sued by a corporation or a regular person. What is the process to, you keep asking me the same question and I'm not going to answer. How does a father who has been cut off from his child enforce his child in Guam using the process outlined when the mother has blocked him from all communication? First of all, you're talking about from Guam, so I don't know what their rules are down there. When transfer securities to the indentured trustee, do you recommend a W-8 or a W-9? And if the W-8 would it be done the same way for a trust or different? Well, if I'm transferring any securities, it would be a W-9. It would definitely be a W-9. Sorry, the initial question was missed. I was on food assistance and they kicked me off when I applied for cash assistance. They did not call for a scheduled hearing to explain. Maybe I said too much on a pre-hearing in front. My next step is to file a complaint. No, not file a complaint. Your next step is to read the back of the paper to say that if you don't agree with this, then you can appeal it. You're gonna have to go through appeal. Well, lock-in letter sent to employer when W-4 was filed exempt. IRS is claiming we are not entitled to claim exempt on a W-4. So employer was told to not honor W-4 and withhold the max amount of taxes. Wow. Somebody else just said that too, that they've been exempt forever, not the IRS saying you can't be exempt, but you absolutely can be exempt. And I truly do not believe that you got the letter because your job could be lying to you. Because you definitely have the right to file exempt on their form. But you ain't the first person that then told me they said that. All right, nephew, you take this one. Any suggestion for citizenship FOIA requests?
Yes. So when you're doing it, make sure that you don't put, what country you're from, put other. What you can also do, people have had success with telling them like, hey, you left out a certain portion of the letter in response. And then when you tell them that they left it out, usually they'll go and they'll give it back to you. So that's something else you could do. But also, the certificate of non-existence is what you can use to supplement that form if you're having too much trouble getting it, because they have been giving people a lot of issues with that form. But you either want to keep requesting until you get the proper one, like how it's supposed to say, or do a certificate of non-existence instead and just cut right through it.
And then Sataya Perry, can you raise your hand? Who are you? So this person who just asked this question, let me go back to your name. Olga, if you look up under your question, Sataya Perry said she gave you what you can type in the other box. This is an official request for records under the FOIA. I, Mariah Hope, name request all information and citizenship records pertaining to, and then she put the different names and making sure that you use the words person centric query systems. Will definitely. Thank you so much, Sataya.
And that information is also in the updated ebook about using the person-centric information, because that's also going to be a key portion. Because they can't tell you it doesn't fall under their purview if you know exactly which section or which system they need to look in. So,
Sataya, I appreciate you typing that in the messages and being a help to her. Can you tell me what your IG name is? I want to gift you the fourth quarter takeover. Because I appreciate the assistance that you gave. So yeah, I took a picture of it too, so I remember because I'll be doing a lot. But yeah, I would like to give you the fourth quarter takeover for that. Thank you so much for helping her with that class, Stern, because you were right on the money. And then Laura's saying, also try and check in the birth certificate option. Me request BC a tip. Your 14 drops of my husband. The DOJ 361 too. I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna look that up. All right. I know we're on the car situation anymore, but I do have a question. This is why I don't let y'all come up here and talk. Because y'all still do what y'all want. Westlake repossessed the car back in 2023. They were supposed to send information mail. I never see that. It's been 2 months since the case was started. No, you can't endorse anything. They've already been paid for it. Make them do arbitration. Yeah, back in 2023, remove it for the arbitration. I refinanced a car from Capital One that was in my name and girlfriend. Now it's just in mine with Navy. But the title was in my girlfriend's name and they sent a letter asking me to fix the title. They sent me any suggestions. So I refinanced the car from Capital One that was in my name and girlfriend. Now it's just in my name with Navy Federal, but the title is in my girlfriend's name. So do you have a free and clear title, Michael Allen? Because when you refinance it to your name, that means it paid off in her name and they sent you the title. I'm going to tell you this, that if they sent you that title and it's still in your girlfriend's name and there's no lien on there, do not under any circumstances send Navy Federal goddamn nothing, right? They can't get a lien on there unless you send them the title. Right? That's one of the tricks I've been told y'all a long time ago. If you go to Navy Federal, Navy Federal give you a check. You take the check to the dealer. It's a cash deal. You make sure that the dealer send you the title. On the back of the check or on some of the paperwork that Navy gave you, it says that you have to send them the title. I would not send them nothing. What I will do, if there's no lien on the title and it's still in your girlfriend's name, I will have my girlfriend transfer the title over. Hopefully you got a trust, like it sold into the trust and put it in the trust name. And Navy Federal can never get a lien on there, which means they can never report. Then what their Navy Federal is going to do, they're going to turn your auto loan into a personal loan without any documentation from you. And that's the easiest loan to get rid of because it started off as supposed to be an auto loan when it turned into a personal loan. But if your girlfriend got the title is free and clear and it's in her name and Navy Federal is expecting you to send them the title, don't send it to them. There's nothing they can do. Okay. Alexandra, yes, the IRS kept sending me back to 2848, telling me I can't be my own representative. It's how you're writing your name. That's why. It's how you're writing your name. You have to, because if the taxpayer is the all capital letter and the representative is going to be you, I always make the representative me and one of my trusts are always the representatives, right? But it's how I put my name. So in the representative box, it will go last name, first name, middle, upper and lowercase. That is the distinguishing between the two people, right? So that's how you're able to do that. Because no, they will tell you that you can't be your own trustee. It's how it's written. It's how you did your name. Do we need the irrevocable living trust and the irrevocable living estate trust? Your irrevocable can be titled irrevocable living estate trust, and you can only need one. Okay, yes, just send it to me later, Alexandra. Auntie, can I get your sale before your trip? Where's I get is a no. Can you get whose sale? Mine. Even though it's been posted and all types of stuff, I don't answer y'all. I don't. And if I get people texting me and shit, I just block them. Like, I don't. No, no, you can't have my cell number. And even if I gave it to you, I'm not gonna answer. I only answer for my kids. When I got my first 9(8), I called it a foreign name, person and name to trust us to my foreign name. They have my legal name as a trustee. I answered that. As an individual banker for private EIN, replace CTE as a responsible party. No. You can definitely get your banker's EIN. Half of y'all ain't even ready for that yet. But yeah, no. It doesn't, the EIN, it doesn't replace the TTE as a responsible party. And when you get your private banker EIN, now you want to make sure as a private banker, you're registered with the Security Exchange and other things so that you really can walk in the capacity of a private banker. And then once you get all of that done, you can get access to be able to use the DTC window. But y'all ain't with that. There's no one not seeing my questions. I just ain't out. How to go to get somebody out of jail again, put them inside of a trust. 2848 POA on file with the Department of Revenue. Send the certificate, the certified certificate of trust, the POA, and over to the governor. I mean the attorney general. That'll remove everything on the state. That'll get it. But you gotta be his POA to do it. Once the 9(8) trust is created properly, am I correct in saying international bill of exchange can then be created out of the trust because the 9(8) is foreign international? If you're properly set up as international, just besides having a 9(8) trust. Oh, they because of the lady address. You posted the mock trial on YouTube. They took it down because of the lady address. They did. Oh, that's why they took it down. Okay. Yeah, I guess I did do it. I will have to go through that video and see wherever this address or something was shown at. And I can just edit that part out to see if I can put it back up. Is a 56 form and 56F needed when discharging anything dealing with a financial institution? Our trust is already set up. Well, you definitely have to have fiduciary duties over whatever account it is. Nephew, can you do this one? Do you mind explaining the difference between a foreign grantor's trust and a foreign express trust?
Where do you see that one? Well, yeah, I can do that. So, like she was explaining earlier, um, with the foreign express trust, um, versus the foreign grantor's trust, um, they have they have slightly different ones. So with the foreign express trust, that is when the trust is foreign itself, like so the trust is taking place um in a different country, etc. The foreign grantor's trust is when the grantor of the trust is foreign, if that makes sense. So the reason why when you have a foreign grantor's trust, the name of whoever you're putting on there doesn't exist is because that person is someone who you made up and they don't exist anywhere in law. And therefore, they can't connect any accounts or anything like that underneath, Social Security or whatever to it. Because, like she was saying, when you do a foreign express trust, if you put your name down, they still can cross reference that, with Social Security numbers and tie it into their jurisdiction. So that's really going to be the biggest difference is a foreign grantor versus the trust itself being foreign. Now, they're both going to be foreign 9(8) trusts, but one of them is happening because the grantor is foreign versus just the trust itself, if that makes sense. So it has a slightly different layer of protection in terms of the trustee who's over the foreign grantor's trust. But they both have tax exemption.
And then if you go under the IRS.gov and you want the LB&I International Practice Service Process Unit, section 679 of the IRS manual, it will tell you all about the foreign grantors trust, the difference in them, what makes it not liable for taxes, and etc. So that would be section 679. And with a foreign grantors trust, at least one of the beneficiaries have to be United States people or U.S. beneficiaries. And the grantor's trust is me granting. It also puts the tax liability on the grantor itself and not on the trust itself. Well, if I'm the grantor and I ain't got shit, then they can't charge me shit, right?
Nope.
So that's the difference in those two. All right. Yeah, I might drop the trust class I did in 2017. I went all over that. Maybe I'll drop it and give it to y'all. It's just sitting there. I got a lot of classes just in there. And Caleb tell me who he used to audit his auntie mortgage. Caleb.
During that time, it was Mortgage Audit Online. I paid not just for my auntie, but I also did one for my brother as well. So that's who I was using at that time. And that's what I helped use when I discharged it and I posted that receipt. I used one of theirs. But again, mortgage is a different story in terms of, to me, mortgages are the easiest thing, at least in terms of conceptualizing. Like, no, they separated the deed from the note and they voided out the chain of title. So therefore the game is, or the mortgage has been null and void. So the defense for mortgage to me is, it's solid, set in stone. So it's like, even without the audit, I still would have been confident with my strategy. But yeah, that's who I was using at that time.
And if you're fighting a mortgage, you need to transfer the house into a trust. You need to do a new deed of trust. You need to take away the power of sale that you gave to the original trustee when you signed the documents. You need to put all of that on the record. You need to inform them that they have lost their trustee status and their power to sell. And then with that, you want to also put it in a newspaper, because when they go to foreclose on your house, they put it in a newspaper that you never see, because don't nobody get newspapers any longer. And you need to do the same thing that they do, but in a different manner. You need to also make sure that when you transfer the house over into a trust, that you put that you did it for lawful funds. If you got silver certificates, if you got silver coins, etc., that is what you want to add. And you will take a picture of that with the serial numbers, and you will add that into your deed of trust, which will cancel out the other deed of trust, right? So not only do you do the quit claim deed, you have to do a new deed of trust to cancel out the old deed of trust. But if you remove the state, because it's the state that foreclosed on you using a county. If you remove the state, then you remove all of that access. You ask them to remove your house out of the Torres system. Depending on your state, they're mostly called the Torres systems. But if you start looking up the Torres system for your state, if it's not that name, it'll give you the name. Once you remove your house off of the county road, then they can't do anything. So I hope that helps. But that's a part I will be going over in fourth quarter takeover, as well as how to get the original meets and bounds of your home and not the address, which is up under federal jurisdiction, so that when you redo the deed of trust, you would do it back to the original land when the state decided that it was abandoned and they took it. And the only way you're going to get that is if you go down to your archives, depending on how old your house is, your state archives, and you pull the first original deed or patent that was done on the house. You'll pull every one up until yours. You'll get a certified copy of it. And then you will do the allodial title, land patent, depending on where you're located. And you are registered in the books. You will also know that when you do that, say your house is in Hoke County, you're going to notice that Hope County is not where the original documents is filed. It'll be in a totally different county. Then you're going to make sure that you put in the newspaper so it'll be set in stone, which means they can't sell it, they can't do anything. Now they can't charge you any state taxes and etc. But I will be going over that in the fourth quarter takeover, as well as the documents that's needed. So the difference with this class than any other class that we've ever done is I'm actually going to be going over like the actual documents that you would need. So if you leave that class and you still need some help, there is no help for you. And that's just what I'm saying. If you leave that class and you still need some help, you just give it up. Just give it up. How would you get a lien removed from a hospital bill? Okay, so how did the hospital get a judgment over you if hospitals are nonprofit organizations? There you go. The courts denied me AAA, arbitration sent to district court. For credit union gave judgment. What did they deny you for? It's something that you put in the initial AAA arbitration documents if they denied you. So I couldn't really expound more on that because I don't know why they denied you. But they sent you to district court for credit union. They gave a judgment. You can get the judgment appealed by taking it to the equity side of the court, which are the higher courts on the equity side. No, this recording will not be sent to the emails. It will be dropped in the VIP room. I sent the SES and they replied with a signed form. It depends on who you're dealing with. And said no. But saying no is still an offer. You be like, send it back. I do not accept this offer and give them the reasons to why you don't accept it. Just got one back from my daughter today using a screenshot of their words highlighted in their duties. Vanessa, thank you. If you look when you're doing the FOIA, if you look at what their duties are, their duties tell you that they're supposed to, they have the status of everybody who's a citizen in their record. You're not the only person who have took their words, as I tell y'all. She highlighted their duties and she got it back for her daughter today. And my husband and I are on the mortgage and car loan. Do we both get to send off for our securities? No, y'all are as one. Recently just found out our family lawyer that I had funds in the bank account left by my late mom with the guardianship assigned by the court of NYC on the account. I don't know this man, and I was 9 years old the last time I seen him. The bank won't let me withdraw the funds from the account, so I went to the circuit court to get some information on what to do next. And the lady I talked to said the account is missing over 80K and she will need to investigate where the money is. Is there anything I can do or just wait till they're done with the investigation? One, wait till they're done with the investigation. Two, they sound like they assigned a guardian ad litem. You're gonna have to get the guardian ad litem taken off. Three, if it is a guardian ad litem that was assigned by the court, ask them where the money docket is. Money docket. If it's dealing with some money, it has to have a docket for it. And you file bankruptcy on your all caps name for debt after you transfer everything into your trust. Once you transfer it into your trust, you no longer own it.
Yep.
Is there a way to see if my employer securitized my job application? They did. I work with a major life insurance company. What type of negotiable instrument will you deposit to purchase life insurance, and how would you present it? You work for them, you don't know? You work for the insurance company, you don't know what's happening. Oh, y'all got 15 more minutes and I'm done. If our irrevocable trust is a responsible party to a revocable trust, would a revocable trust be untouchable? No, they're just a responsible party. A revocable trust, you could be sued. And if you die with a revocable trust, that only a revocable trust is going to turn into like a will and it's going to go through probate. You're welcome, Alexandra. Any suggestions for episode? You good? All right, I did that one. Did I make it to the bottom? Uh-oh, did I make it to the bottom? I think I made it to the bottom. Did you pay for the relay? Wait, damn, no, I didn't. Please drop the trust class from back in the day. I might. Strategic web shit, strategically, all right. Yeah, we gonna get her. Don't worry about it. When taking over your bank statements, are the evidence? Yes, the statements are your evidence for the 1041 and the 1099Bs, especially if it's your first time filing it. Do not file it online. Print them papers out and attach your statements. That'll make your process go by a lot faster if it's the first time you're doing a 1040. Did you pay the federal tax lien that they put on all real estates in the 1940s? I wrote the Department of Interiors for my bill with no response yet. I read it needs to be paid. Secure allodial title. Did I pay the federal tax lien? No. They ain't gonna send you no bill. But let me know if they do. All right. Respectfully, can I ask another question? I'm currently in foreclosure and I have a question about what you just said. You should have typed the question. That's the only way you're gonna get an answer. How are we supposed to write our name out again if we're the trustee? All right. Let me see if it's still up yet. Hold on, y'all. You hold on, y'all. Nephew, you can go to another question. Let me see something real quick. Hold on.
Okay. What was the last one that you answered?
Um,
Because you were almost at the bottom. So I'm trying to, I
yeah,
don't want to skip
that's
nobody.
the one. Oh, I didn't even know this was up here. Oh, this is the one that I did. Emily, this up here. It was the one that I'm about to do. Well, she's asking about the EIN number, how you put trustee behind it. I'm gonna see if the IRS thing is still up, so I can kind of show. No, they start closing down early now. I was gonna show y'all how to do it physically on the screen. I'll put up a video screen record. So to do that, when you get to where it says your name and your social, who's applying for the EIN, put your first name. You don't have to put your middle name. I personally don't put my middle name. And then last name, I'll write my last name space TTEE so it'll know that I'm the trustee. That's it. All right, here we go. I'm taking over your bank. I didn't pay that. All right, I did that. If our 9A trust is a tax exempt status and we put our business under the trust with our business, yes, it will.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to open up a bank account for that.
Yes.
If I can't afford to do all of this at the moment, a lot of what I just told you for the mortgage don't even cost.
Nope.
Yeah, most of the stuff most of it don't cost. Removing their POA don't cost. Removing their power to sell don't cost. Redoing another deed of trust and putting your trust on a deed of trust and filing that, unless they got like filing fees, but most of that don't cost. All right, let me. Will you be going over taxes reporting in the takeover class, for example? I'll be going over how to get your money from the IRS. What proper forms should you be filing to get your credits back? How to file a 1041. What documents will be needed? What documents need to be in place before you even attempt to do a 1041? Those are the things I'll be going over. In regards to claiming my child's son's dad passed away, this will be SSI from his dead dad. I'm sorry he passed away. How do we make sure he's getting the max amount? His amount that he's getting is based off his work history. All right, nephew. For the grantor's trust, if South Dakota postal address is used, will there be an issue if the county and state used in the next box 7A is in Texas, since this is where our DBA is initiated? Just a little clarity, please. Can you tell them that when it comes to the South Dakota thing, there you don't even need a South Dakota address?
No, you don't. Um, and they said if the country and state used, no, there wouldn't be an issue with that. There wouldn't be an issue with that. As long as your trust documents are formatted according to how they tell you to do it on the website for recording a trust down there and it matches with all the stuff, you'll be fine. Um, I'm not even.
Yeah, because anybody in any state can record there. So you'll be
Yeah,
fine.
so you wouldn't need an iPostal South Dakota address either.
Yeah.
You have one to make, having all your mail go there, but it's not something that is required for setting up that trust.
Yeah. Patricia, does the TDA account need to be in a trust? So when you open up a TDA account, you can have a TDA account up under your individual name, up under your trust
And
name, and up under your
uh-huh,
business name. So
I have
for your,
one.
yeah, I have one for each one of my trusts have their own TDA account.
Yep.
Then Tamika got a TDA account. Then my
Mm-hmm.
businesses got a TDA account, right?
Yep.
So if you look at when you go to open it, it'll ask you what type of entity you are. So your trust should have its own entity, especially if you're going to be getting to the point where um, you're going to be getting deposits, or you're buying municipal bonds, which I keep telling y'all, buy municipal bonds, buy XRP, buy XLM. Like I'm gonna scream into the mountaintops. Bitcoin is almost at 100,000. Like y'all better get on the board, honey. XRP, XLM, municipal bonds through the TDA, and etc. So yeah, your trust should have its own TDA account. This is the same way your trust or your business should have its own ID.me account. Your ID.me. If you got a business, it's supposed to have its own account. If you have a trust, it's supposed to have its own account, right? Separate from you. How do I discharge or SES my business account? T-Mobile business account. It's the same way. No, I cannot go over the PO process. Oh, shit, I'm just playing. I'm about to say, no, I'm not doing it. I have my TDA account of my personal capacity now in trust. That's fine. Now put one for your trust. The certificate of live birth I got look just like the birth certificate for the step. It says live birth. My trip, it shouldn't have a lot more info on it. If it don't have your mama's signature, and if your daddy signed your daddy's signature plus the doctor's signature, then you got the short form. Those were all the questions. I did it. We did it.
We did it.
Yes, y'all asked some really good questions. Besides the PO ones. I don't care about these two new messages. What time? Done.
8:30. We've been on here
Yeah.
for 2.5 hours.
So I like this. So how did y'all like this? Would y'all like me to do these more often like this? Of course, we're gonna have our topics when we're like, okay, we're only talking about this, right? But I'd be wanting to know where you guys are in your journey. What can I answer? Because one person's question probably answered other people's questions, right? So if y'all would like me to, do these once every 2 weeks or etc., drop 100, let me know, because ultimately I'm here to make sure that y'all are good, right? And so I want to know where you guys are. So me and nephew will know what to focus on. We need to know where you're at individually as thinkers and collectively, so that we can all be on one accord, right? Because the more of us that's on one accord, we can move mountains like that. Um, so I will we will start doing these. They'll probably be like every 2 weeks or so, where it'll just be ask me anything, right? It will be, it's a part of your VIP package, so it's no more or whatever, so that we can answer your individual maybe have questions, have trust. So I will be doing something separate, but like for like individual things. But when it comes to the trust, y'all, it's in the room. It's in the room, y'all. I promise y'all, it's in the room. It's in the room. It's in the room. Trust are not as hard as you guys are trying to make it be. Getting the EIN number is easy. Setting up a trust is easy. Transferring your assets into the trust is easy. Is the fourth quarter takeover just for members? So the fourth quarter takeover is something that is done separately, but the members, y'all get first access to it. And if the members fill up all the seats, then they never make it to the public. Yes, stop overthinking. Eliana, I think I said that correct. Please stop overthinking. Okay, because it's not as hard as it may seem. That yes, my affirmation, trust are easy, and the IRS is my friend, because the IRS is your friend, y'all. You know, I'm trying to tell you, the IRS, when you know how to properly move through the IRS, is your friends. But as a pre-warning, and I am telling you guys, get your irrevocable trust set up and get your accounts transferred. Even if you can't get the irrevocable account transferred now, at least open up a Charles Schwab or Fidelity and keep 90% of your money in there. So when the shit fall down, you will still have your assets. Okay. You want to still have your assets until you can get everything transferred over, because the system is changing very, very, very rapidly. Okay. And you don't want to get caught with that. So yeah, that's how that'll go. I am going to do because Thanksgiving Thursday, ain't it?
Yep.
Oh shit. I meant to do a gift card giveaway for like groceries or something. I'll come into the VIP room tomorrow and see, try to help a few people out for when you drop the cost of the fourth quarter takeover. It's very reasonable. I'll just say that. It's reasonable. But yeah, y'all be the first ones to know. It will drop this week because it is a 4-week class. It's a class a week for 4 weeks. So that is that. But yes, I really enjoyed this. It was not too draining. I love the questions, and the questions that you guys are asking is showing that you guys are getting it, but you just missing a little bit here and there, right? So if we're able to answer that for you to give you the confidence that you need so that you can do what you need to do, absolutely. I would enjoy doing this with you guys. Um, so yeah, on that note, that is it. Thank you everybody who joined in. I need to find out why Zoom capped my room at a certain amount, because there's a lot of people that didn't get in. But hell, it was a free class. They'll get the replay. For y'all that made it in the room, congratulations. It was for you to listen to, right? But I will drop this into the VIP room as soon as it is ready. And like I said, we'll set up a schedule. I'll try to do this, and it'll probably be on a Monday, at least every 2 weeks, to be able to answer you guys' questions and etc. I do appreciate you guys. The other day, I did go through the comments the day I was supposed to have the live, and I didn't right after all of that stuff popped off, but I see you guys in there helping each other, asking questions, answer. I love that, because we do have to be helpers one to another. So yes, that's why I'm loving the VIP room. The people in the VIP room, I know y'all serious. You know what I'm saying? That's why y'all are gonna get the lives and the stuff that Instagram not gonna get, right? That's just for y'all ears and y'all eyes only. So thank you guys for joining us. tonight. What is this? Yeah, I don't know what it is because I got a large meeting planned, so I'm not exactly sure um why it capped it, but you know what? Hey, and that's crazy because I got a pro plan. They charged me a lot of money for this thing on Zoom stuff. But evidently it was meant for you guys that were only in here, and I'm okay with that. Everybody else will get the replay of it. And on that note, you guys have a very amazing evening, a very amazing week. Um, the link will drop this week. I am going to come into the room tomorrow and do a giveaway. Maybe I'll do some questions, and if y'all answers, I'm gonna do some gift card giveaways for the holiday season, and it's only open to the VIP people, so the rest of the world won't see it. Because I just want y'all to know that I appreciate you guys, you know. So I want to give back to you guys on that wise. I'm also doing a Christmas giveaway as well to help a few families for this holiday season to make sure that everybody have a happy holiday season. I do it every year, so this is nothing new. If you're new here, I do this every single year. I always try to give back to those who support me because I truly do appreciate you guys. And on that note, you guys having a very amazing evening. I will see y'all in the VIP room tomorrow. And I will for y'all, I'm going to go pull the 4 series steps that I did on the trust, and I will drop it in the room for you guys. Okay. And on that note, you guys have a very amazing evening, and I'll see y'all in VIP. Thanks,
Bye,
nephew.
y'all. No problem.